Yes, sir, Ski. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Action, baby.
All right, my people. We out here on the Blueprint recording today. This is Ricky Rich in the building. And we out here with Chief Fades and Braids and Lil Hawkins in the house. Man, I really want to start off with I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Amen.
Hell yeah. Amen.
Very blessed to have every single one of y'all in the house. Gracias.
De nada.
Gracias.
Cheers.
Cheers for that.
Cheers.
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 To the Mutual Agreements podcast.
Mutual Agreements podcast.
And this is episode number 1 of Mutual Agreements.
Which I think is great. This shows how everything really does go full circle, because I not met you, but the first time I spoke to you, March 1st, 2022,
Yeah.
I reached out to you because I wanted you on my podcast that I was going to make.
That's so true.
And I was trying to get you on my podcast, and it didn't work out because of weather or whatever.
I got the gold, I got the love, I got the juice. Tell a bitch, please, nigga, want me to leave, then they pray for the truth. I let them down easy, baby. It ain't that easy, baby. Tryna be breezy. A king need appreciation.
But at the end of the day, look, this is something real going on right now, and I'm gonna be open. I'm gonna be open with it. My battle, February 18, 2024.
Risk it all, baby.
It's called Risk It All.
Risk it all.
And I'm gonna be truthful with every single one of y'all today. I am risking it all.
You are.
I have risked it all. I've taken many chances with this event and my life, my career, my friends, my following. I'm taking every single bit of the risk.
And you're going to be great.
I'm living it. So here, that was a little piece of it right there. It's really, really all risk in life. If you want to succeed, if you want to pursue a dream, you got to be all in it. It doesn't matter who's
all
next
in,
to
baby.
you.
All in or nothing.
You just got to be 100% in it.
Yeah, no reward, no risk, no reward, right?
Absolutely.
I'll say the more risk there is,
the more reward
the
there
better
is.
reward
See, but
is.
sometimes that's not all
better.
necessarily true. I feel like a lot of people sometimes take unnecessary risks. You know what I'm saying? There's like a balance to it, right? So like yeah, at some point you're going to have to put yourself on the line in order to break new boundaries, right?
True.
Break down new walls.
True.
But at the same time, like you got to have that foundation to be able to do that, right? So it's not like me coming out of barber school. I came out of barber school and I was ready to go to CT Barber Expo and go compete against the best in the world. You know what I mean? And which is great. Like I love that I had that confidence, but at the same time I wasn't being realistic, right? I was trying to jump over a Grand Canyon when I really couldn't make it across the pool yet.
Facts. I love a word you used there, which is being realistic with what you got, what you can do, and what you can achieve at the moment. But that doesn't mean you can't work towards what you're building.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So sometimes we tend to put those together. La mezclamos. You feel me? We mix that.
Oh, by the way, everybody, this is going to be super Spanglish, so I hope you guys have your subtitles on.
Subtitles on for everyone. Subtitles on.
Subtitles, because this is super Spanglish.
Super Spanglish. But going back to that, sometimes there is certain risk in life that your mind and your body is going to tell you no. Everybody around you is going to tell you no.
Yep.
But you and your abilities, your skills, no, because there's always something behind it, right?
Absolutely.
There's something
Always.
beeping inside of you. There's all something coming from your heart, from your brain.
Signs, like
You know?
just stuff. There's always that something
Saying,
inside of you.
hey, you can do it.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I'm not going backtrack to that CT. I don't think you was too far away from barber school when you went to your first CT barber battle.
No,
Was
I
it-
want to say I had just gotten out of barber school.
You feel me?
I want to say I was like a few months out of barber school when we
So-
did CT.
In reality, we talking about you manifested it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Right?
And I'm manifesting going back. Like now it's something that I feel like back then I didn't maybe necessarily have like the skill level or like the techniques that I have now. So now it's like now I'm kind of feeling
Now-
like a
now it's
dog
like,
going back
yo,
up there. You know what I mean?
we
Now
got this.
yeah, right. Now it's
Yo.
different. It's different this time around,
The
right? 'Cause-
energies are
but
different.
That's the whole. That's like the process of growing, right? In
I love
anything
it.
in your career, in your life, or whatever. That's just the process. You start to become more confident, and you start to realize the different levels to whatever you're trying to tackle, right?
Amen for that.
I was on a different level at the time,
Yes.
but now this level's a little serious. You feel what I'm saying? So we'll
Like-
see. I'm looking forward to going back.
Like I
again.
said all the time, time is your best ally.
Absolutely. Time is
That's your
very
best friend right there.
Time.
Because the more time goes by, you're going to realize how much you grow.
It's all about the timing. Everything in life is all about timing, for sure. 100%.
Well,
And one thing
sometimes-
about it too, it's not your timing, it's his timing,
Oh.
right? And
we
that's
always got to
where I
count with
messed up.
God. Definitely. We always got to count. You know, sometimes we go through certain stuff in life that we want to achieve at the moment and we can't. A lot of things come in between of our goals at the moment, but that only means that we need to work harder to what we got going on. It's not the right time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the right time. You don't have the ability. Let's say, per se, oh, I want to be rich today. I want to be rich. Hell yeah. But am I capable of managing that level of success? It's
And
two different
responsibility.
things. And
Because it's not just success, it's
it's
responsibility.
responsibilities. Day and night. Any rich folk, anybody with money, work day and night.
And night.
Yeah,
Yes,
you got to
sir.
put in the. I saw something the other day that was like, I asked God to make me strong, right? And I didn't wake up one morning jacked, but God gave me situations to handle to make me stronger,
Yep,
right?
Amen.
absolutely.
I asked
Nothing
for
better
money.
than that.
I asked for money, and I didn't wake up with $1 million in my bank account, but God gave me ways to make money.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to put in the work. He'll give you the avenues, right? But you got to put in the work, bro.
And that's good that you
and
said that.
I'm 25 years old, and I'm just now starting to figure that out, and my life is changing.
And that's very good that you said that, because there's a lot of people that don't understand that. They think that just because they sit there and they pray, God, please give me this, and what they don't see is he's giving them everything they
Yes.
need to
Yes.
get to where they want, but they're not seeing that because they want that instant gratification. And I feel like
Instant gratification.
things nowadays,
Instant gratification.
people want
That is
that
so
just
true.
instant, like an instant
Instant.
coffee. They just want add water and you're done.
I feel like that term came out not too recently, right? Because it's become more of like a popular thing, especially in like today's society. Instant gratification with Amazon doing next day shipping,
Yep,
right? Same day
everything.
shipping. Sometimes you can order on Amazon, it'll be there before you eat dinner that
Yep,
night. You know what I
absolutely.
mean? Like instant gratification is
Right.
because it's like such a modern thing.
And it's a
because I don't
problem.
remember you don't hear our parents or our grandparents ever talk about instant gratification. I never heard that term
No,
before.
because
you know what I mean?
before in times, they knew what was value.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you get instant gratification, I'm sorry, that word's a little bit hard for me.
The English is no good.
My English is not very good looking.
My English is not very good looking.
My English is not very good looking, my people. Okay? Either way, we don't get that value in return. You know? It's like getting $1 million today.
And
We're gonna
it's
go
gone.
out there and spend it.
It's gone.
Because
It's
you
gone.
didn't work for them. You don't know what's a little drop of sweat for them. No blood, tears for them.
Yep.
You're gonna go and blow them out. It's just how human beings are. It's not
Absolutely.
even judging nobody. It's just how we are.
It literally is. Absolutely.
You know? And a lot of that comes into value. You know? We gotta learn how to appreciate things. Time, people, everything around us. We gotta learn how to really, really value them and appreciate them every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to Yari's right now. Let's jump to our main
fades and
theme.
braids.
She
Hey, how
fades
you
and
doing?
braids.
That's her
Hey.
Instagram, by the way.
That
Oh
is
my
my
God.
Instagram, by the way. Make sure you follow. Make sure you also follow both of these gentlemen. Let's encourage each other to grow, because that is one of my biggest things. I love encouraging people to grow.
Absolutely.
I'm not the best. I can be a brat just like anybody else, but my whole objective is always to help grow and succeed, because I just feel like that's important. Back to what I was saying about you, when I reached out to you the first time to have you
I
on,
was going there. I was going there in a
to
second.
have you on my podcast, and it didn't work out because it started raining when I was gonna do it in my city. So then I was gonna go to your city.
Let's go into details with this, because this is very, very important. Personally, one, and for the whole podcast right now, is very, very important. As She Fades and Braid said, she reached out to me, was the first
of March of 2022.
March.
And
wow.
I tried to get you on my podcast, and it didn't work out. But here I am on your podcast, your first episode. So it like
A whole year ago.
it's full circle. It's literally 2 years.
2 years already?
years.
We still got to get
Wow.
your podcast going, though. We got to.
We're
No, we
gonna-
will.
It will
Yeah,
get
we will
there.
make that
It will
happen. That's
definitely
gonna
get
That's
there.
such a great idea.
That's-
I'm not going
Yeah.
to say it because I want to wait for it to
Yeah.
come out. But
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
it definitely will happen. And then with this wonderful place, we just got to get Lucian to get a backdrop in here so we can.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
we're gonna
set
do
up
some-
green
We're gonna work
screen.
all that
We got
out.
some. Yeah.
Let's not in details. Not in details.
Yeah.
That's for later. All right. I will just say that 2 years ago we connected it. We connect each other. And today we're able to make this thing work out. It is my first podcast live. It is my first shot, my first episode, and I could not pick anyone better than you.
Thank you.
Just because we had this thing going for years now, and you are my version in female.
The female version of you. Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
wait, let me go back to that. My female version of me, all right? My female version. Mi versión es mujer,
There you
okay?
go.
And
And it was such inspiring to me. It was such an inspiration to me to be like, yo, wait. We just talked not long ago about you wanting to braid me, and that was the whole subject of the first
that
conversation.
really was. That's all I wanted, was to braid your hair. I wanted you on the podcast, and I like connecting with people.
What made you want him though? Was it like, did you see him on social
Because of-
media? Or
yeah,
did you guys
when
had you guys already met?
So I've never. This is the first time I'm getting to meet
Yeah.
him in
Like
person.
in person?
In
Really?
person.
I didn't
First
know
time.
that.
This is
Yes.
the first time.
Wow, the
first-
vibes are
Everything.
insane. The connection is wild. It's
Everything.
just natural.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Everything was through Instagram, which I have a lot of Instagram friends, and that's how it happened. And I like connecting with people. Like I
Right.
said, I like collaborating.
Yeah, okay.
So I came across his page, and when I came across his page, he was one of the first guys. I didn't really ever see guy braiders.
Yeah.
And he was like the first one, and I was like, oh, he fades and braids.
Just
He
like that.
does.
Bro, she wrote me like that. Bro, you fade and braids. You're the male guy version of me.
Mm-hmm.
Da-da-da-da. And it was so like vibey right after that.
Yeah.
It was such
It was such a
like
vibe.
almost like if I knew her from a lifetime, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And I kept in communication with him like I do it just about everyone I speak to. I like to support. I like to encourage. So like I'm constantly liking and sharing and everything. But when I saw him do the battle, which by the way,
By the way,
Risk It
February
All Barber
18th.
Battle, February
Risk it all. Risk it all, my people. Don't ever stop dreaming. Dream big enough that you can't even fit on your head.
Amen. So when he did that, I wrote out to him and I was like, listen, congratulations. Like, I'm really proud of you. Like, you really are taking your steps and you're doing what you need to do to get there.
Right.
And he literally was like, oh my God, thank you. Do you want to come? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm going to be there. And he's like, no. Do you want to showcase? And I was like,
that'd be
like,
Dog,
I'm kind of
I
scared.
instantly, my it just flipped on. It was like a switch. It was off.
Yeah.
And when she just like reached out to me on something, I'm like, wait,
This works.
not only this works, the incredible connection that I have with this female.
Yeah, right.
We just have too much similarities when it comes to work field. And now that I met her personally too, it's crazy.
Yes.
How things worked. And I was like, how can I leave this person out of my show?
Right.
How can I not invite her to my show, bro? That was like, work, click, come on.
So then he invited me to the show, and then he invited me here and was like, yeah, do my hair. We're going to do a podcast.
By the way.
Okay, sure. So February 18th, I will be out here, and I will be bringing my team, hopefully. I haven't spoken to my ladies yet, but if you're watching, hey guys, we got to talk.
Hope you're not busy in February.
That is so me. Hey, how you guys know? I just went at her like, yo, you're going to braid me, and we're going to shoot a podcast. Yeah. That's just
so my girls, we're braiding baddies. There are 5 of us. It's Nati, Nikki, me, Anaya, and Laura. Sorry, baby. Love you. But it's the 5 of us, and we are braiding baddies. So we will be here on the 18th of February. Hopefully all 5 of us will be here. Again, I have to talk to them first. But yeah, so hopefully we'll be here, and we will be here and risking it all.
If any one of them have any stuff going on personally and all that and can't make it, it's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
They're part of the team.
Absolutely.
You're going to be representing all your team.
Absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure a couple of them will have time to come.
Well,
Your whole team will still be here.
One of them is a 17-year-old amazing young lady. Her name is Anaya Flores. I don't know her Instagram handle off my head. I believe it's Eternal Styles. The girl is amazing. She's actually been doing my hair since she was 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
She's been doing my hair since she was 10. The braids
Have
that
you
this
been
little
paying
girl...
her since she was 10 years old?
I'm not going to lie. No. Why you got to put me on the spot like that? Come on, dog.
In terms of reference, she's still by your side. And
she's
you're
still
out
by my
here
side. And
guiding her in the industry.
Yeah.
So
and her birthday is also in February. So
nice.
Yeah, I'll probably help celebrate her 18th also.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool. But yeah, we have an event in April, but she won't be able to come because since she's graduating, she has grad bash, she has prom and all that.
Oh,
so she can't make it. So that's what I'm saying. I totally understand that. My girls and I, it's the 5 of us. We're very, very united. We've all met in different areas for different reasons, and we just stick together, and it's just us 5.
Hey, I do want to say that I rock with the name though.
Yeah, that was Laura, laced by Laura. She came up with that
Braiding
name,
baddies?
1000%.
Yeah.
Braiding baddies,
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna lie, we're all
That's
kind of
sick.
cute.
You love that.
That's cute. That's sick.
I do want to say this, like on another note, that those young kids that are grinding out here in this industry are insane, right? So like we're out here as I consider myself still pretty young at 25, right? But to be in high school and have to balance, because I remember being in school and balancing sports and academics, right? And then toward the end of high school, I caught a job or two, so then that was like a little tough, but that was part-time, right? We got kids out here that are in high school cutting hair.
Yep.
And like have a full book, like have clients. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
That's a hustle. That's a grind.
That's a grind.
And that's amazing.
To be that young and have that much discipline is insane. Because I never had that.
Not only it's a hustle and it's a grind. I'm very, very proud of their parents or whoever is in charge with them.
Absolutely.
Because you're not only creating a barber, you're not creating a stylist. You're creating an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
From an early age.
Yeah.
Yep.
From an early age, an entrepreneur, somebody that can run their own business, make their own money without a boss.
Absolutely.
And that's creating a leader in this world.
Absolutely.
Applause for that.
Absolutely. One time for the parents.
That's
to the young entrepreneurs out there, keep doing your thing.
Yes, absolutely. Here's
keep
to
grinding.
You.
Yeah. Man.
But yeah, no, there's 2 things in this generation. It's this or that. You got a bunch of kids that are like doing it and really, really working hard and doing very, very well. But then you have the ones that are entitled and crying and don't want to do anything, and it's kind of annoying.
It's a battle.
It is a battle.
It's a battle of our society, sociedad. If in case I'm not saying it right, it's a battle. That's a complicated theme right there.
Absolutely.
We just, as parents, I'm not a father. I feel like one though. I act like one most of the time. I like to take care of my my family. It don't matter. A little backstory on that. I grew up without a father on some turn. Since I was 9 years old, I didn't have a father.
Mm-hmm.
He had to step away for a certain time, and the next one in the household was my grandfather. He lasted me till I was 12. He had cancer and he passed away. And after that, since my 12 years and up, I was the only male figure in my house.
Which I'm very sure was super hard.
It was a huge trauma in my life. Cope with it. It made me who I am today. I love it. I would not. I love my process, you know. I learned how to deal with it, and I understood that everybody goes through stuff in life.
Absolutely.
I had to go through that. You had to go through your own problems.
Yes, I did.
And then Hawkins also went through his own things, and that's what creates your character, builds up your persona.
Oh yeah,
you know,
for sure.
And it's lovely. We don't have to hate the process of it. It is very, very hard.
It's hard not to hate the process. It's really hard not to hate the process, but once you get through it and you learn from it, because everything in life is a lesson.
Yes.
Everything in life is a learning lesson. And I hear you because I am a mom. And I tend to try to be a lot of people's moms.
Yeah.
I don't do it to be malicious. Yeah.
Sometimes it comes out by itself. You don't want to do it.
I just like that. So I have, so I have my two at the barbershop. Shout out to Sitz and Vince. My babies call me auntie. I have 3 other people who've ever called me auntie. Dominique, that's his real name. I won't say the other one. Cam, and I'll think about it later. But anyways, but I get called auntie a lot because I'm either an auntie figure or a mother figure, and I'm just there to, like, you know, just love on you and make sure you're doing the right things. If I see something that you're doing that's not correct, I'm gonna kind of, you know, hey, you know,
I was gonna say, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with hating the process, right? Like, the process can suck. That's okay.
Absolutely.
That's fine. The process can suck, but you just have to trust in the process, right?
You do.
Like, even though it sucks and even though you hate it, you got to understand that this is the process and you have to go through this in order to get to wherever you're trying to be at. So it's okay for it to suck, and it's okay to wake up every day like, damn, I got to go through this shit again and again and again. Yeah. But as long as you believe that it's going to work and that it's working, that's okay. You can hate it as much as you want. Because I remember doing trash haircuts at first, and I hated it. When I would be in barber school and someone would sit down and ask me for a haircut I didn't know how to do, I hated it. But I knew that I had to go through those 4 or 5 times that I would jack somebody up, jack a haircut up bad, and I hated going through that process, but that's the process I had to go through to get to the point now where...
You are going to hate different points and parts of it, but at the end of the day, let me ask you, did you look at those services? Did you finish your student or whatever, the battle or whatever, and you look at him and you was like, damn, I did a good job. Damn, I did a great...
On some of them.
No, I mean, when you're starting, obviously your mind is going to play games with you.
Yeah.
What you see as a trash cut, as a trash as set of braids, other people see as in like, damn.
And that's happened.
Damn.
And that's happened.
This man really did some shit.
That's happened.
You know?
Because I post some stuff that people are like, oh my God, fire.
I'm big on that.
That was just a late night post.
I know. It's been like that many times. And you know why? And you want to know why? You want to know why? Because we are professionals. We are stylists. And we work with this every single day. It's like telling a painter, yo, this, you know what you got to do with it. Like, he's going to know every little detail of his painting besides you that pay for his service. He knows if he screw up, but you don't because you don't
because you're looking at the whole
paint.
picture.
Looking
Yeah,
at the whole
right.
painting.
I understand.
Yep.
You don't
Yeah.
paint. You don't know. So it correlates to that. We are stylists. We are professionals. And we see more details than a regular human being can see just because we are mentally already in the game every single day.
Right.
You know? So that, I'm a big fan of that. I tell everybody, post it. Post it.
But and that's not to say
too.
Post
that's not to say that like it's okay to not fix mistakes, right? Like that's not to say that like
See,
it's
Vince,
okay
I
to
told
be
you,
sloppy.
Vince. I know you're
It's
watching.
just saying that like what your eye catches, the normal eye like
Misses.
may miss.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely we're not saying be sloppy.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, every single human being is going to want to perfect their craft.
Right.
They're going to want to make a better job.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
just normally we're just going to go at that.
Even us, when you do something,
Yeah,
you look at it and you're like,
once you do something, you want to do it better. It don't matter what it is. Let's say you gave a lesson to your kids. Even though as parents, I know this goes through some stuff. As parents, you give a lesson to your kid and
They don't
sometimes, not only that, sometimes you feel bad yourself giving a lesson to your kid.
Yeah.
You feel bad.
You mean whooping their ass?
Yeah, if you
Hell
gotta
no.
teaching them or yelling.
Bing, bam, bam, bing, bam. No, I'm just playing.
No,
I'm
you
just
can't
playing,
do
I'm
that
just
anymore.
playing.
It's 2024. You can't even say that
Shit.
anymore.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Shit.
My kid's going.
You find you a Hispanic mama or find you
Yeah,
a
no
Caribbean
matter.
mama.
I
She's
feel
fucking
what
you
you're
up.
saying though. Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to teach tough lessons, and sometimes it's tough on you too, teaching the lesson. I understand.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah,
absolutely,
correct.
absolutely, 1,000.
You definitely gotta, work with that.
Right.
Definitely
I
gotta-
know we went through it, didn't we?
We've been at it for a minit already, guys. We gotta.
I mean, I'm naturally chinky, just so everyone understands. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right, going back to the. I want to have a little backstory, from you, Yari. So, how was the whole braids, the fades and braids game when you started? What made you pursue the whole career? What made you fall in love? Come on, tell me all about it. I'm excited.
So, okay. So first
I
and
love story
foremost,
time.
So first and foremost, She Fades and Braids was created when I was in hair school because my teacher was telling me how, when you have a personal Instagram page, you like to post certain things.
Right.
And now I understand. Back then I didn't, but it is really important to me for people to balance two things. You shouldn't have personal stuff on your hair page.
Correct.
At least that's how I feel. Everyone's
Correct.
different,
Yeah.
you know? So I have
It's a business after all. You gotta keep it that way.
Absolutely. So I have Sheer Talent 220. That's my IG from even before hair school. And I had that, and sheer is spelled like scissors, SHEAR. So that was where it stayed, and I had everything on there. But when I took that class, it kind of inspired me, and I was like, what should my name be? Like, what am I gonna do? And I came up with She Fades and Braids because it rhymed.
Right.
But I couldn't braid a freaking anything. I couldn't braid anything at all. Like, if I had a picture of my first set of braids that was done to Kai, which is my mentor's son, shout out to Kai and Mario. Thank you guys for letting me borrow. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. And I just kept going because, like you said, I kept looking at all my braids and I was like, man, I can't wait until these things look like real braids.
Yeah,
like,
right.
and I just
feeling
kept
so well.
going and I
Me
just
too.
kept going, and She Fades and Braids little by little.
So, how long into cutting hair, or like how far into the hair industry were you before you decided, like, oh, I'm actually gonna try to braid?
Well, I was still in hair school.
When you decided to try to braid?
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
okay.
still, I wasn't
All right.
even fully licensed yet. I had just made my page. So as soon as I made the name, I started learning.
Okay, all right.
I wanted to make sure that by the time I graduated and my page went a little further. So like if you go to She Fades and Braids and you go all the way to the bottom, which I don't think you could do that anymore, but if you do,
If
So
you
much
got time.
post.
yeah, if you do, like it's literally posts from hair school, and you can see the transition of my haircuts, the transition of my beard shape ups, the transition of my braids, how they've gone from fat and frizzy
Hey,
to
I tried
like
to do that, but it
super
was too
sleek.
bad. I had to delete some stuff.
Yeah, I I archived everything, so I
that's
have
what
it.
I'm-
But like,
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I left it there, because for me, it's important for people to see your growth.
Yes,
Not
it is.
everyone knows what they're doing immediately. I mean, there are some people that are very, very. Listen, I have this girl that we had a little class. I had a little mini class, my first class. It was Joelle, Lena, and Daniela. Shout out to my babies. Daniela did rows of braids, and I'm like, you're lying. Those were her first braids.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're lying. There's just absolutely no way. And she's like, no, for real. Those were my first braids. And you wouldn't have been able to tell me anything else.
Right.
There's some people that have that natural ability
Dog,
to pick something up real
It's
quick.
something special about that. I have a couple of students already that it's like they blow your mind.
Yeah, hell yeah. She blew me for sure. I was like, you're lying.
It's like,
You're
yo,
lying. I did not teach
it's
you how to
like,
do that. She's like, no,
dog,
you did.
I did not teach you how to do that.
I did not. You lie. You went to somebody else. And she's like, no, I just did that.
It's been like that, man.
That's crazy.
It's a
and it's
great
one of
feeling.
the greatest feelings.
It
in
that's
is
the
when you
an
know
world.
you're a good
amazing
teacher,
feeling.
though.
Dog,
You know
it's
what I
been
mean?
one of the greatest feelings, and I would say that like most of my students just have like a day of braiding, like learning techniques and all that. Other than that, I tell them like, yo, it's all up to you whether you put the work in and perfect your craft.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will teach you something to a certain level. After that, it's up to you whether you want to take that. You know,
Yeah, I'll give you the tools, but you got to put in the work.
yes,
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
100%.
Just
Yeah,
like everything
100%.
else in life, because even that happened to us too. We asked for it,
Yes,
and we got the avenues.
Yep, and we had to work really, really hard for it.
We sure did. But yeah, so I made the name, and then like the love and the passion came from my kids. You know,
dope.
like everything in life, not everything always works out the way it's supposed to
Correct.
be. You know, my children's father and I, we took our separate ways because it wasn't working as a pair anymore. But as parents, we do a very good job with both our kids and our granddaughter, because we do have a granddaughter. I have a 1-year-old granddaughter. Shout out
that's
to
awesome.
Lele.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah.
I have a newborn. Shout out to Nicolas out here.
Yeah.
To be real, my adrenaline.
You don't have a newborn, you have a newborn nephew.
Yes,
to make that
newborn
clear.
nephew.
Oh,
You don't have a
nephew,
newborn.
I left the nephew out. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, you did.
It's his nephew, y'all, by the way.
Yeah, I have no kids.
Anything can happen.
I got a new nephew too. Shout out Elias,
Yo.
3 months
Yes,
old.
to
Yo
our
tengo-
God bless.
babies.
Contemporáneo. Yo tengo un sobrino ahora mismo contemporáneo con él que es también, it blows my mind how we have this great relationship, and he's my brother. Loki, he's my brother.
Absolutely.
And in many cases, we've been through many situations, many spots in the world. We traveled together all over the United States. I don't think I have a bigger connection than anybody than with him.
That's me and Nati.
Oh, I love you, bro.
Not just to be real, you know, it's not because we out here in a podcast and all that stuff, but that's some real stuff.
No,
you
that
know?
is, yeah.
That's-
We
more
talk
than
about this all the time, though. Like, we love, like, we've just been
I
through
learned.
so much together, and we've learned so much together, and like
Absolutely.
trials and tribulations. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, we've gone through so much that it just builds like a natural connection. Like,
Yeah.
he really is my brother.
That's
honestly.
literally me, Laura, and Nati. Me and Laura have had a longer relationship than me and Nati, but the industry brought us together and like never separated us.
The connection
Me and
is just
Nati go
different.
everywhere. We travel to all kind
Yeah.
of like shows and events, and like she's always in charge of the Airbnb. She's the bomb at that. I give her the money, my half, and then she does the rest. So like
I wish
Ella la que
I
busca.
wish we had
Los
something like that.
especiales.
We don't have anything like that worked out. Everything
Hey.
we do is on a whim.
We
Oh,
just gotta
no.
put the beep out there.
We'll travel and we won't even have an Airbnb set up until we get there. We'll be like, all right, but we got to figure out where we're staying
Oh,
tonight.
no.
Hey
We're
guys,
We're in
I'm
New
gonna tell you the truth about this. I love it.
He loves, and
I
we'll
love it.
we'll be a week out from traveling halfway. We'll be going to California, right? And I'll be like, look, Ricky, look, these are our flight times, and he'll be on the phone like, yeah, bro, all right, cool. What? Yeah, and I'll be like, look, Ricky, we got to be at the airport at 6:00. He'll be like, yeah, I'll be there at 7:30. I got you. And I'm like, yo, no, bro, you're not late. And this is like a week in advance, right? So then like 4 or 5 days before, I'll be like, hey, look, Ricky, we're going to be there for 3 days and we don't have a place to stay yet. Maybe we should figure something out. I got it. Don't worry about it. Like, I'd be like, bro, can you get off your phone and look at me for a second? Because I don't want to sleep in the car when we're out there.
real.
Speaking of cars, we don't have a rental set up yet. So like, what are we doing, bro? And then we'll touch down at LAX, and my boy will be on the phone making phone calls. Hey, bro, can you pick us up from the airport? Yo, you got some place for us to stay tonight? All right, cool. You got models for this video shoot we're trying to do, like, and we'll get everything set up before we jump in the cab at the airport.
But that's how you know everything's meant to be, because it works out in the end.
Yeah, I agree, but damn it, can we work it out beforehand? Like, you know what I mean? I know it'll work out.
That's the part that I love.
Yeah. So that's where I am auntie, and the group, Nati's the mom. Nati is the one that handles the Airbnbs. Nati is the one that, like, because she's a mom of 3 and an amazing wife. And she just has to have it all. Yeah,
together.
she has to have it all organized.
That's awesome.
I can be organized, but you know, she ain't a little king. But yeah, that's the
she's
mom.
good at
She
that.
has
She's
all
good
that
at that.
taken care of. Yeah.
Man, I love it, man. That was such a good point to point out. I love when I make him go through all this stuff, because it's like he's like, yo, so what are we gonna do? So are we gonna have a place to stay? I'm like, chill, bro, chill. We
Yeah,
got
just chill.
this.
We'll sleep in the car
I'm
if we have
pretty
to.
sure I'm like you. I'm pretty sure I'm like you, and I think Nati realized that, and that's why she does it.
I will.
Because if not,
But
I will say this though, even though like every time it's been like, bro, worst comes to worst, we'll sleep in the car. Not once, and we've traveled together a lot. Not once have we ever actually ended up sleeping in the car.
I hope
Thank
not,
God.
'cause, man,
thank God,
that
we've always
hurts.
gotten it figured out. but-
yes.
hey, and I'll say, sleeping in the car ain't the worst thing.
Slept in worse places,
It
I
depends
guess.
how
Slept in
big that
some
car
worse
is.
places. Hey, I can make my car look like a house.
Jesus.
I'll tell you, so like
I'm
when we
kidding, I'm
went
kidding.
to CT for the first time, right?
Shout out to Mr. J Majors.
J
Hey,
Majors,
Majors.
that event is insane. I had no
Hell
idea.
yeah.
Like coming into the hair industry, I had no idea that you guys even had events like that, right? That we had events like that. I
Bro,
should say,
low
now
key,
that I'm in it,
a
but-
couple of the events that made me fall in love with the whole industry
absolutely,
made me pursue this whole thing that I'm doing
100%.
today.
100%. It's something about those places, the people that you meet and the talent that you
Oof,
see, it just
that's
gets you
special.
hooked. It gets you hooked. It really
It
does.
does.
There's so much talent in one building that it's like you're blown away. But that was a crazy trip for us because we didn't know whether or not we were gonna go, right? This is like 2 or 3 days. Maybe I think it was like the day before, maybe even.
Something like that. It
Something
was
crazy like that. And I was trying to sell my old vehicle, the vehicle I had at the time.
True that
right?
happened.
So
risk it all, baby.
Risk it all.
Risk
So-
it all.
So I was in a position where I needed to get a new vehicle. I had to sell the one I had at the time. And I had a few people that were hitting me up to come look at it, but I wasn't sure if anything was going to go through. And the conclusion
I remember all
that
that conversation.
Ricky and I came to was if you get it sold and you get this new car that you're trying to get, then we'll go to CT. But if that doesn't happen, like we have to take
It's
care
not
of that
meant to
first.
be.
Right, that it's not meant to
That
be.
was- that
Like we
was
got
a conversation.
priorities,
It was
right?
not meant to be.
There's
if that
priorities.
didn't
So,
happen.
like this has to happen first. And this is like maybe 2 days before CT Barber Expo that we decide this.
Wow,
so, sure
that
enough-
trip was never spoken about.
Yep. So sure
This is
enough,
the first time we talked about this.
I sell my truck that night or that following night or
I
something.
think it was
like
the
that.
next day. You had to
It
travel.
was the next day. It was that morning
You have
actually.
to travel.
So that morning, I go to sell my truck, gets sold. I go down to the dealership. I put the money down on the car. I drive out with the car. I drive straight to the shop. I had my bag already packed, right? I drive straight to the shop. And when I pull up, Ricky comes out lit. He's like,
He's like, we're going to CT.
it's happening.
It was one of the
Turn it.
greatest feeling in my life. to
Once
be honest.
again,
and-
proving that when it's meant to be,
It'll
will
happen.
fall.
Yeah.
It
so
will fall.
So, but God, I wish that was the end of it, right? No, we
Bro, it was such a crazy
trip.
trip.
Yeah, it was an insane trip.
Oh my god.
So our flight was leaving out of Miami and it was landing in I want to say we were landing in Connecticut originally. We were gonna land in Connecticut originally,
Not right in Connecticut,
but like
yeah,
right
no, it
outside
was
of where we needed to be.
Right, it was like 30 minutes away from the Mohegan.
Yeah, 30 minutes. We were supposed to land at whatever airport is closest to the Mohegan Casino and Hotel, right? That's where we were supposed to land, and then we were gonna figure out our stay when we got there. But we get to Miami. And we get to the airport with plenty of time. Like, we're sitting in the airport chilling and eating, waiting for our flight. And they delay our flight by like 3 or 4 hours, something crazy. Like, it just keeps getting delayed and delayed because of weather. So eventually we board the plane and they got us on the tarmac and they're taxiing us out. And
already, Daddy, already sitting down, doors are closed.
Yeah, no, we're taxiing. Like, we're fixing to take off.
Doors are closed.
We're fixing to take off, right? And out of nowhere, the plane turns around and goes back to the gate. And they don't say anything for a minute, but we get all the way back to the gate. They taxi back, hook up the gate, and then they tell us over the speakers that they're canceling the flight because of the because of the weather, but because by the time our flight would have got to the airport would have been closed.
True that.
Because our flight had been delayed for so long, and I guess that airport closed at a specific time. So by the time our flight would have got there, the airport would have been closed. They couldn't
I didn't even know airports closed.
Neither did I, right? Or I thought that even if your flight was delayed, you could at least still fly in. Because I've flown into an airport late before and everything was closed, but you can still walk out, get your baggage claim, and leave the
everybody
airport.
I know takes red eye because it's so much cheaper.
Right.
So I didn't know airports closed at all.
Right? Yeah. No, they closed. So they tell us this. We get off the flight and we're like, okay, well, we just got to jump on the next flight out of here, right? Maybe first thing in the morning or whatever. We go talk to them. The airline that we were flying said,
yeah, wait, you're skipping one part. There's a line of like 30 people.
Oh my, no, 30, like 300. It was not 30 people. It was over, maybe not 300, definitely over 100 people. 100% over 100 people. Because all the flights had got canceled.
Figure out what is going on. The whole airport got shut down.
They're canceling all the flights. So everybody's downstairs at the service desk trying to get help. So I'm on the support line on my phone. He's on the support line making phone calls. I'm trying to wait in line at the same time. It's a whole shit show.
Mind you, remember, we got a battle at 4 p.m.
the next
Sunday.
day.
This is probably Saturday, I think it was.
Saturday at like midnight, right?
No.
So like the next day. I don't remember what day it was, but probably Saturday or Sunday. But
you guys made
it was
it.
the next day.
But you guys made it.
So I'm getting there. So we did make it, but we barely made it. So the airline that we were flying told us the next flight that they had to where we were going wasn't until Wednesday. That screwed us, right?
Yeah.
So now we got to buy a whole nother.
We got a battle at 4 p.m.
tomorrow.
In Connecticut.
Yeah. And we're signed up. We've paid the money. Like, we're already in it. They're gonna call our names and we need to be there, right? So we look up and we buy different flight tickets for the whole nother airline that leave first thing in the morning.
No refund at the moment.
No refund at the moment. We just had to front the money. Yep.
Till we got the refund.
And then but the flight that we got for the next morning landed in New Jersey instead of close to the Mohegan.
You had to drive.
So we land in Jersey. We take a cab from the airport in Jersey. This is the following morning. We got a hotel in Miami that night. Stayed at a hotel that night. Got to the airport in the morning. Flew to Jersey. We get to Jersey, take a cab to the rental car place. Have the worst time at the rental car place trying to get a rental car. It was a hassle. Eventually got one and hauled ass from New Jersey, the rental car place in New Jersey, all the way to the Mohegan. We got there maybe 2 hours before the battle.
Correct, 2 hours before.
With no model. Like, our plan was to find a model at CT Barber Expo.
We supposedly had enough time by the time, from the first flight.
If we would have been there originally, yeah.
Yeah, we have enough time to find a model because we didn't bring a model with us.
Right.
But the whole delayed and all that stuff screwed us up. And then we had to find a model in
within 2 hours. Yeah, right.
But you found one.
God is great.
God is amazing.
And trying to get into CT Barber Expo, and they do a great job running that event. It was just like there were so many people.
So many.
That it takes a while to get through the line. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And they couldn't do it any faster if they wanted to. You can't, you've got rows of people doing wristbands.
CT Barber Expo is, if not
the biggest one.
It's the biggest one.
Biggest barber expo out of all of them.
Shot.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of people over there.
Right. So by the time we get into this event where we go and we find out like, hey, when's our battle?
Hey,
Is it
shout
still
out
at 4
Chico.
o'clock?
Chico came through on that one.
So yeah,
Shout
that's how we ended up finding our model. Chico Boom. Shout out Boom. Boom,
Hey,
baby.
Chico Boom.
Chico Boom, baby.
Chico.
Hey, no, my man was working the roller stand at CT Barbo Expo that year. He was looking fly too. They had those custom jackets. They were looking cool.
They're always
But
looking
so we went up to
fly.
our man, and he was on the mic, of course, like he always is. And I was like, "Hey, Chico, bro, we're looking for a model, man. We got here late. The flight fucked us up. Like, what's up, man? Can you help us out?" He was like, "Man, I got you right now, man." He turned around. He's like, "Yo, I need a model." He's like, "You got to be willing to do whatever, color, braids, cut, all of that. Hey, if you about it, come see
I
me."
can literally hear his voice already.
But hey, boom, baby, right at the end of it. I was like, my dog, bro. And it ended up working out.
Not even
30
what?
seconds later.
Not even a minute, right?
30
after
seconds
that,
later,
somebody
someone
pulled
came
up.
walking up. He was like, "Yo, I got
Because
y'all."
It was meant to happen, but you had to go through the process.
Amen.
You had
That's
to go
how
through
it
the
is.
process.
We did have to go through the
And
process.
you had
Shout
to-
out
We didn't
to
win.
Boom
We
for
didn't win
though.
that battle. I would say it was such a big learning process for us.
That's all it is. You did win.
Huge ass. It felt like they took a chunk of our heart.
It really did. I
No,
was
I
was upset.
Just remember.
Yeah.
I was
remember
upset.
that we're going through so much
True.
to get there.
True.
That when we got there, we wanted to
We had
do
to win.
so much.
But
Right.
remember, you got Chico Boom looking at you.
We
you
always
got-
won.
you know
it
what I'm
was
saying?
never an L.
Yeah, it was never an L. It was always
I
a
told
W
you when
because
we
you
got out
went
of
through
the show.
everything.
Yeah, no, it
Absolutely.
definitely, I don't think of it as an L. It definitely stung though in the time. And that's kind of what I needed to kind of like spark the fire that I have now.
Listen, I understand
You know
you
what I
guys 1000% because my first battle, well, yeah, it was a braiding battle. The first one I ever joined was, do you guys know who Millie is? Oh my God, what's her IG? She's in Orlando. Millie Braids. Fire braider. Shout out to Millie.
Yo, I gotta
Millie
follow
Braids. I gotta
Millie.
go follow that.
Yeah, you gotta
Let me go grab
find
my phone.
her.
I
Go
wanna
get
follow
her.
it
Go
before I
get her.
forget.
You gotta get Millie. So
Hey, we'll follow her in a second.
yeah, in a little bit. But
Live.
Millie actually, she made this braid battle, and me and Nati went, and I called one of my cousins out in Orlando. I said, "I need your daughter. I'm gonna join the fastest braider." You know what I mean? I did your hair.
What is it?
How
Like a
fast was
like
that?
a fast braid competition?
Literally, they line everybody up, and
Yeah.
they just start the time, and you go, and whoever finishes first wins because it's the fastest.
And you do like
braids.
whatever set you want?
Well, I think we had to do 4 back.
Okay.
4
That's the
back,
minimum.
straight back, and
Yeah.
as fast as you can, right?
Low-key, that's how my competition is running. I don't need everybody's gonna see the whole rules and all that stuff. I'm gonna have it on paper, but hey, for whoever's seeing this, you got the advantage.
Yeah.
You just have timing to create a style. Don't try to make a style that you can't achieve in that timing.
Yeah.
It's not about you making the craziest style.
It's about knowing what you can do in that allotted time. Yeah. So I went to Millie's, and me and Nati both joined. She did a different competition, and I did the fastest. I'm very confident in myself. I took Nati.
and I love that.
I went with Nati. I took my son, and I took little Mikey.
Real
Shout
Puerto
out
Rican
to-
at the end of the day.
Shout out to my baby little Mikey the barber, who is an upcoming barber. Y'all gotta follow him
Turn
too.
up, Lil Mikey.
Little Mikey's still in middle school, by the way.
Ugh. Cutting hair.
And he
Ugh.
cut.
Nasty.
Little Mikey,
he's
shout out
getting
Little
there.
Mikey.
He has really good teachers.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nice Barber Studio. He has a bunch of great mentors around him, including his father. Shout out to my big brother Mike.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I took little Mikey. Little Mikey had short hair, and little Mikey's hair was out. So he wanted me to braid him, and I braided him right there immediately. And they were like, "Oh my God, are you in the battle?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing fastest braids." They were like, "Why didn't you use him as a model?" I was like, "No, because I already have one." So my cousin drops off, my little niece or whatnot, and she has this long hair, right? I told her to prep the hair, and I was told that she prepped the hair.
Right.
When I get on stage, you guys,
Tangled.
bro, I was so nervous. Her hair was dry, which that was my fault. I didn't prep it properly. I brushed it, but like my nerves, dude, my hands were shaking.
Dog, I do have a story about that. My first battle, make your story. Sorry that I interrupt. Bro.
Your
my
hands.
were
I remember
Like
that.
this,
We were in that
bad.
battle.
We were
Yeah,
together. We were in that battle together.
I
Shout out
remember
Goya.
Yeah.
Shout out Sauce Goya. Yo,
Sauce Goya.
January 28th, 2024. Make your story in Guayama. Enero 28, make your story in Guayama. You guys got to come through. It's gonna be a piece of an event.
Absolutely. So my hands, they're shaking, right? And on top of shaking, I grab the gel and I put it on her hair. I start braiding and it makes a knot that is so hard that I'm like trying not to look like I'm panicking. I'm sweating. I'm shaking. I couldn't get it. I was the last one. My heart was like on the floor.
Bro, it's different.
I wanted to cry. I wanted to just I wanted to walk off stage.
Oh,
it's different.
And I just kept seeing Nati looking at me. Little Mikey's going, keep going, keep going. And my son's like, you got this, you got this. And I see Nati behind both of them. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Because she sees the knot.
Yeah.
She knows I'm not going to get through it. There's gel in there. There's a bunch of stuff. And she had a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Man, I know what you guys are going through with that whole heartbreak, but the experience, I got to meet
That's
Millie.
the most important. I always tell everybody, when you step into a building, into a trade, a showcase, an event, a battle, there's always a W.
Yep.
It don't
always.
matter what it is.
You're
Whether you
meeting
win a
people.
trophy physically and you can see the trophy, that's a win. Badass. You're already advanced in the career. You're already on where you got to be at. But for those who don't have a trophy, there's still a W, nigga.
Absolutely. I met
Still
Millie.
a
I met
W.
Jessica. I got to meet Cheeky. Cheeky the braider.
Yo, talking about Cheeky.
Love her.
I met
Speaking of
Cheeky.
Cheeky, I just followed Cheeky not too long
Oh
ago.
my God, she's
God.
fabulous.
Her braids are
I got to
insane.
meet her
Cheeky?
for the first time there.
So, shout out to my boy Nando, Jack's Elite Barber Expo. Shout out to my boy Nando. When I went to my first battle, which was Chico Boom's battle, I met Chicky and Nando. Otherwise, in other showcases and artists that were amazing in the house too. But those two impact in my life because Chicky teach me how to do the small ass box braids that I make on my designs. She was the one who was like, yo, I was like, yo, how you do that? She's like, super simple, bro. Just like that, super simple. Da-da-da-da. And then she just did it in front of me. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then Nando showing me the Tint Nation, my boy. Nando showed me the Tint Nation.
Oh, the enhancement?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that was life-changing.
I don't
That
know
was
the
life-changing.
That was life-changing.
Bro, he was the one I see him with the bottle.
I don't know how to do
What
enhancements.
is that?
I don't like it.
You know what was good for me was like I never learned. I didn't know too much about enhancement, right? So I was never dependent on it. So my cuts got
Exactly.
fire before I even started
them.
using enhancement.
Yes.
And then when I first started using enhancement, it would actually make my cuts look worse.
Worse.
You know what I mean?
You put too much.
Yeah,
and it's
right.
like, ugh,
Not
what
even
is
too.
that?
It wouldn't even be too much. It would just be like I would put it in the wrong places, or like I would use like the wrong type of enhancement for the wrong type of hair, right? Because
you
there's
didn't know
certain
how
hair
to
that
use-
you want to use fibers on. Some that Tint Nation works better for. There's others where you would actually
gotta
want
learn
to
how to
use
work
dye.
with it, for
right?
sure.
There's different things for different
Yeah.
stuff, right? So, but a lot of, and this is I'm not throwing nothing at anybody, and I'm not speaking about anybody in particular, but a lot of the new barbers, right, are so into the enhancement game. It's
And
almost
they're
not
so
even the barber game
dependent
anymore,
on
right?
it.
So like you really
But,
see
hey,
these kids put in skid
there's-
lines.
I would disagree with you right now. Mutual agreements. I'm sorry.
I mean, we're
Mutual
gonna
agreements, but
get
we're
to
gonna
the mutual
disagree.
agreement. We
And
gotta disagree to agree.
At the end of the day, that's what mutual agreements mean. That's the whole channel. You know, we don't have to agree with it.
absolutely
We
Agree
just
to disagree.
agree to disagree.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So, I would say that the whole life is involved in that. The whole social media, the whole camera, the whole everybody needs to look good,
Right.
the whole thing. So it's not that new barbers are encrusted and not like, yo, like enhancement. It's just that they see and they know that that's just the move. Tell me about it. Tell me if you make a fire ass cut without enhancement, without you knowing how to use it, you know, it's gonna look trash. All right? But if you know how to use them, and you make a fire cut and you know how to use enhancement, now you bring in the whole cut and braids to a whole different level.
Absolutely.
Because that's why it's called enhancement.
Right. You enhance the haircut, right?
Correct.
So that's my point though, is that I feel like nowadays people don't use enhancement as enhancement. Or like at least the newer barbers don't use enhancement as enhancement. They use it as
the haircut.
as a fallback.
That's
that
it.
is
That's
the
the whole
haircut.
haircut.
That's the whole hair. The newer barbers.
So your guy has
I'm
to
not
go
saying
3
that
days
it's-
without taking a shower.
Right. I'm not saying that it's bad to use enhancement because I use enhancement on damn near every cut. But what I'm saying is you shouldn't depend. Your shit should still look fire without the enhancement.
Without it,
100%.
absolutely.
Your shit should be fire before you
100%.
put paint on anybody.
100%.
So shout out to All In Barbershop, which is the barbershop that I am located at in Green Acres, Florida. And we do have a few new barbers, and we've actually been trying to teach them how to do organic cut. We don't
I love that term, organic.
Organic.
Wow.
haircuts.
organic.
Wow.
We do not say to them that they cannot use enhancements, but we try to encourage them to be as organic as possible for the reason that you just stated.
I guess that's
Your
where I'm
haircut
mistaken.
should look-
I guess that's where I'm mistaken, where I'd never seen enhancement part of the cut.
Oh,
I
I've seen
see
it.
them
Yeah.
to enhance. the
Right.
cut.
Well, that's
Yeah.
how you see
Yeah,
it,
So
'cause
you,
that's
you
how you
create
use
your
it.
cut
Yeah.
and then you enhance it.
Correct.
With
That
your-
is how
with your
you
little
is how
turn.
you should
How
do
you're
it.
It's
supposed to
not
be doing
enhancement's
Yes.
not. It's not never like it's never part of the cut.
You should never be hiding mistakes with enhancement.
Correct.
Bingo.
That should never be a
And
thing,
that's
right?
what a lot of them are doing.
Correct. That's I
That's
guess
what a
I've
lot
been
of them
out
are
of that
doing.
for a second. I never seen it like that, but I guess it. This is not the first time I
Organic
hear it.
haircuts. What a term. I
Organic.
love that. I'm going to put that in my Instagram bio. I'm doing the organic haircuts.
And then put the little plant next
How
to
awesome.
it.
Yeah, what? That's great.
Wow.
So yeah.
And it's funny too, because there's a lot of people that like I'll do their haircut and I'll lace them up nicely just organically. And then I'll offer enhancement. And people turn it down a lot. And,
Yeah,
and
they
the
do.
ones that turn it down, it's funny because it's the guys that turn it down that it would look the best
Yes,
on.
probably.
You know what I'm saying?
I've been through that. I've been through that.
It's always the people that it's like, if I added a little bit of enhancement, bro, you'd look like a movie star. You know what I mean?
But
And-
it's the mental fact of like, I know I don't look like that. So a
Yes.
couple of days after this, I'm gonna go back
Right.
to where
and a lot of
It's
people
just
don't
like
want that switch. Well, and a
mentally-
lot of these people see the same people every day, right? So a lot of these guys go to an office and sit next to the same person every day.
Yeah,
So
they
if you're
don't
in there
wanna-
one day with a fresh hairline, and then the next day
you got a receipt.
you took a shower,
back here.
right?
They're gonna be like,
I could see
"What?"
how somebody
Yeah,
wouldn't want to
no.
go through that.
Definitely not.
man.
But definitely, so this industry has definitely changed my life for the better. And I definitely love everything about this. I love everything about, my process and what I had to go through and my learning curve. Everyone that has ever been in my life, as far as my journey with this industry goes, I've been blessed. I've been
Amen.
blessed to meet so many people in this industry, from hairstylists to nail techs. Shout out to my own nail
I'm in that
tech.
point right now. Too. I can reference on that.
Not
Yeah,
even
you
just
have
in
to.
like the beauty or like self-care industry.
Yeah,
Like I've met
100%.
people, I met jewelers, rappers,
Oh yeah.
athletes, like so many people that like it just opens so many doors because
sir.
everybody needs a haircut.
Yes, sir.
on
Your
some
favorite
real-
rapper needs a haircut. Your favorite ball player needs a haircut.
They're kids too.
Your jeweler down the road needs a haircut.
They're your kids too.
know
I
what I
just
mean?
gave my card to
Females
my
and
pastor
guys.
yesterday.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like the connections that you make are unbelievable, even outside of the industry.
Look,
Look at us doing a podcast right now.
look
Like, you know,
at this. Look how
Mutual
crazy is
agreement.
this. So I'm gonna go back to the beginnings of my career. I'm gonna go back into some deep hole.
Oh Lord.
We're all right.
Drink
So
to that.
how I started this?
Yeah, let's get ready to go down this rabbit hole. Hold on.
Hell yeah. Hey, I'm gonna go down there with the mutual agreement.
The mutual agreements. I'm on my second cup still, guys, because I have to drive 45 minutes. So I'm trying to behave,
I have a driver.
and I'm on a 21-day fast, so I'm
we all
not
have a
gonna
driver.
do the other part. So
Well, you
I'm
gotta
good.
drive. We have a driver.
No, yeah, I definitely have to drive.
Yo, so going back to that rabbit hole, So when I started the career, I was in a really, really bad spot in my life. Coming from Puerto Rico, I battled with drugs, personalities, battles with demons and whatnot, whatever you want to call it, bro. I grew up in the hood. And getting out of it, it was hard. It was so drastic. Either way, I got to get out in the 2019 of Puerto Rico back, because I already been out of Puerto Rico since 2015. I graduated high school and I went to college and I played baseball in Iowa.
Woo-hoo, baseball.
And then my second year, my sophomore year, I had Tommy John surgery.
Oh no.
So I kind of stepped back on my career on baseball and all that stuff. After that, I got disappointed in a way. I already understood that was not the thing that I had to pursue. So I finished my studies and I went back to Puerto Rico. That year that I went back to Puerto Rico, I was already on my 20 years old, maybe 19 years old. I went ham in Puerto Rico. I went crazy with I don't want to say bad friends or bad influences, because at the end of the day, we all pick what we want.
They're still bad influences.
Yeah,
though.
this is true, but yeah, there are still.
Yeah, they're still bad influences because you chose them.
I chose them, and I was doing the same thing that they were doing. Like, that's just to be truthful. I liked the way it was, and
yeah, you didn't need to be convinced. But
no, not at all.
I didn't need to be convinced. I was there and I was doing all that stuff. But I went into a really dark hole in Puerto Rico. I was doing a lot of crazy stuff. I dropped out of university. I was doing mechanical engineering.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mechanical engineering in college. I finished my AAs and then I went to Puerto Rico to keep pursuing the career. I lost track completely on that year. So right after that, I had an uncle that kind of rescued me. My uncle Angel, shout out Angel Aponte. He's not my blood uncle, but to me, he's my legit uncle.
Sometimes those are the best ones.
He has taken care of me as an uncle. Every single bit of it has been like a family. Whatever you need, he's there. Even when I don't even talk to him for months, he will still be there.
Yeah.
So he helped me to get to Fort Myers. I got to Fort Myers. I didn't come straight as a braider or a barber. I didn't have that in my head. For me, barbers and braiders, sorry for my industry, but I didn't see it as a great job. Coming from Puerto Rico, cuts were $10, $15.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that in my, compare the balance. Mechanical engineering versus barbering.
Oh no, absolutely. I had people telling me all the time.
Even now in here, like mechanical engineer versus barber is a whole different
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah, but the pay ain't too far from it.
It's not if you do what you
gotta
do.
You have a secure payment with mechanical engineering and all that stuff, but we can produce as much as I do, for sure.
If you put in the work, absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
100%. I've seen barbers make more than mechanical engineers.
Hello.
Or any engineer.
J Majors.
It's just
Chico Boom.
Okay.
But I don't think Jay Majors is a barber, right?
He was. What you talking about?
Was he a barber? I thought the whole thing surrounding him was that he was never a barber and that he was just like involved in the industry.
No.
I'm still new to the game. Don't judge me.
Jay, get him, Jay.
No, Jay, hey, I'm a big fan, bro. Please don't be mad at me.
You're gonna slap my boy when you see him.
Does he still do hair now?
No,
bro, who has to still do hair when you lead the
no.
biggest barber event in the world?
Yeah, no, Jay
Chico
gets
don't even
paid.
do hair no more.
Yeah, no, Jay gets paid to
Sean
come
Casey.
to
Well, that's
hey,
okay. See, that's
shout out to my boy Sean Casey, Twin Cuz, the law.
CEO.
Sean,
Twin
hey,
CEO.
Sean still
yes.
cuts.
Yes, he does.
Whenever he wants.
Some people do.
Right, that's what
Whenever
I'm
he
saying.
wants.
Sean's probably one of the most successful barbers I know. And he still
Pacino's.
cuts.
Shout out to Eric Pacino. I watched him grow. The shop was right down the street. Like, that man literally did that.
Hell yeah.
He don't cut hair no more.
Hell yeah.
He'll go on stage and he'll do a showcase.
Why would you?
I just I feel like I know. I feel like there's people like that are heavily involved in the industry, like Nino. Is Nino a barber?
J Major's MC? Nino, remember when we did Nino's showcase?
I don't know.
You don't remember Nino's showcase at
I don't think
at Ray Fade's thing?
I don't think they worked there. We gotta edit all this stuff.
Blurry Fades.
We
Mark.
you gotta.
Mark is
names
also
in the whole thing. So.
Yeah, Mark is also. He's a
I don't think
very
they worked
good
together
barber.
like that. Nino was another like Ray Fades and another Sean Casey who was throwing.
Well,
their
he
own
was
event.
emceeing at J Major's event, CT Barber Expo, was he not? He was on the mic
No,
up
he
there.
was not.
Bird Mena. He doesn't do hair.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Bird doesn't do.
does.
Bird told me himself he doesn't do hair.
He
I had a
doesn't.
conversation with
Maybe
Bird. He
not
says,
in
"I don't
a-
even do hair. I just work with Wall."
Maybe
That's
not.
all
Yeah,
in
maybe not in a
reference.
shop. Maybe not in a shop
That's
anymore.
all in reference that he don't have to do hair.
Yeah, he
but
doesn't have to
Bro,
anymore.
somebody like Bird is so introvert. You know, Bird does so much that he does. Bro, he wouldn't. You could never take the clippers out of his hands.
Bird's amazing.
Bird does hair.
Bird
and
cuts.
Bird does color.
I've only ever seen Bert get cut and get colored. Like I've never seen Bird cut hair. I would love to see that.
You see,
I
you
talked
see-
to him-
okay,
I
this
talked
is
to
a
him in
perfect
Miami.
example. This is a perfect example. When you become that man, like Jay, like Chico, like Bird, that you're contracted by certain companies, that you have a role, it's just complicated. Let's say I want to include Ricky Rich in that.
Oh,
You
perfect
guys don't
example.
know this, but it's hard for me to be in the shop and cut hair, dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. I
Perfect
don't-
example. My homegirl Allison cuts. She still cuts, not as much in the shop because she's
Allison
always
from-
Level 3.
From
Level
level
3.
Yeah.
she's always traveling. She's always on showcase. But,
Yeah, but every
she's
time I see her on
still
Instagram,
cutting.
she's cutting. Like every time I see her posting something on Instagram, she's doing cuts, right? Like I never like every time Bird's on Instagram, you don't see Bird post anything he cut
Because-
or anything
Oh, yeah,
he
no,
colored.
probably not.
Everything he posts is him getting his hair done
getting
or
done.
him doing events for Wall, right?
Uh-huh.
Allison,
Or
go on her
Bootsy.
Instagram right now. She shows all of her cuts.
Yeah, 'cause she's still
Bird,
cutting.
She's still cutting.
She's still
Bird,
cutting.
because Bird has a different niche. Bird has a different vibe than what Allison
Right,
does.
right.
Allison showcases her work. Allison is not in front of the camera telling you, ha, da, 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 da.
She's just
Bird
showing you her
is.
fire ass cuts.
Right.
Bird is, and that's his job. Bird, I don't want to compare them. It's not that he's Chico or whatnot, but Bird just has his mouth. He's good with his mouth.
I agree.
You
Well,
feel
I
me?
wouldn't say it like that, but yeah. I
I'm
agree.
sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't.
understand what you're saying.
You know, I'm not trying to
He's
say
good
no
with the
sus
mic.
stuff.
He's good with the mic.
Yo, it's just different people are really, really good with language. Really, really good. You know, interacting
English
with
is very
people.
good.
Yeah, some people.
They
no,
have a
I'm not saying that, and I'm not
mouthpiece.
saying that he's not good at that, right? I'm just saying like,
So you don't
Definitely
see
don't
him
say that.
doing all cuts because his niche, where he's good at, where his Instagram pops off, is when he does the things that he's doing.
Yep.
He still cuts. He still does his stuff whenever he wants to because he's not obligated. He sees it as a hobby. He has it as a hobby. Just like I want to. I don't want to be 10 years. To be real, I'm going to be open with y'all right now. I don't want to be 10 years being a braider.
I
Straight
mean,
up to you?
I've been here 13 years already. So
I was gonna say, I'll be braiding.
Yeah, I've been here
I don't
13
mind
years
braiding
already.
all the way into my 80s. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
would
that'd be cool.
Okay,
if,
hold
if
on.
God,
I don't know about the 80s. Hold on.
no, seriously. Like,
I would like to be like at least 50.
So
when
here
I
was my
stop.
thing when I got into barbering and braiding, right? Like I wanted to find when I picked my career, I wanted to find something that I enjoyed, and I truly enjoy doing hair. I do. I'm never cutting hair and disappointed or like upset that I have to be cutting hair.
No,
I
absolutely
enjoy it. So if I can get paid doing something I enjoy, that's a bonus.
Cutting and braiding is my escape from reality. Just so you guys
Heck
know.
yeah, absolutely, 1000%.
Yeah,
It's my
for
escape,
sure.
bro. Whenever I'm braiding,
It's like meditating.
I don't
Yes.
think about nothing else. I'm with my design. I'm with my braids. Bro, Donald Trump, the
So-
president, can fucking hit
My
me up,
therapy is
and I
my-
won't answer.
My therapy is my videos. Like I love cutting hair, I love braiding hair, and especially when I get to do both on one, I love it. But my thing is editing. I love transitions.
Nice.
I love
Nice.
my videos.
So like, will you still be editing into your 80s?
Oh,
not
that's-
my 80s. I'm not
that-
doing
no.
anything in my 80s.
What are you
I'm
doing
in your
in
80s?
my
What do you do
80s.
forever?
I'm gonna be on the beach somewhere in the Virgin Islands
Hell
with
yeah.
a
I'm on
coconut
that.
drink.
So
you
we
know,
got grandkids already, nigga.
Yeah.
Fuck you talking about?
I have a grandkid already.
We got
dog. I
grandkids
can't-
already,
I
80 years
can't,
old, bro.
yeah.
You ain't trying to be on no computer.
Well,
Fuck wrong
excuse
with
me,
you?
sir. Hold on. I'm 40 and I already have a grandkid. Hold
No,
on.
but that's
So-
okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
No, yeah, for
Maybe
sure.
you got grandkids. you
Yeah,
know, out
that
of
sucks. I'm gonna have a great grandkid by the time I'm 75.
You feel me? But that's not sucking. That really means that you built up an empire.
It's gonna make me feel old.
You're gonna look down. You're gonna see like, damn,
Grandma.
I got stuff that I left for them.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, the reason why I'm in this industry is because of my kids. I like I was telling you earlier, like me and my kid's father, obviously, you know, we made better friends than we did a partnership, and we continue to raise our kids. But the reason why I got into the hair industry was for my kids. I knew my daughter was going to have events. I knew my daughter was going to have prom and all these things. And at the time, like you said, I was in a very dark spot myself, because when I left my companionship, you know what I mean? I relied on him a lot. He paid for everything. He did everything. I had a job, but the job that I had, I was an office manager, and I had what I called a me check. This is where you see the selfishness in young people. I had a me check. That check was a free check because my bills were already paid with the first 3 checks of the month. So that check I used to buy purses, matching Jordan sneakers for us 4, me, my man, my daughter, my son. Oh, we looked great. What happened when me and him separated? I had all these purses. I had all these shoes. No money. You see what I'm saying? So
Things
now,
get real right quick.
So now I'm living in my own apartment. I think I got evicted. My son, by the time my son turned 2 years old, I had already been evicted like 5 times from 5 different places. It got to a point one time where I had to actually give my kids to my kid's father for him and his girl to take care of for me, because I didn't even have a car. So I had to walk to work, and my job was 30 minutes away in car. So, you know what I'm saying? I would ride bike. I would take the bus. I did whatever I had to do.
Risk
to
it all,
get
baby.
to work.
Risk it
Risk
all.
But I got through cosmetology school. I finished cosmetology school. I did what I had to do. You know what I mean? And it worked out for me. But it was really, really hard in the beginning. It was really, really hard. But I knew that my kids were in school. The schools itself was going to be a community to help me. I was going to get all the little kids. I want to do your hair. I want to cut your hair. I mean, at the end of the day, they were guinea pigs because, you know, it's the truth.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
how we
did
gotta
it.
start.
Guinea pig.
Somebody
But I
gotta
did
Somebody's
it.
got to be the guinea pig.
Hey, and I appreciate and shout out to all those guinea pigs that let us do our thing
Yes,
at the
thank
beginning
you.
of
Yeah,
our
mine
career.
was my little brother.
We're
He didn't
out
really have
here.
a choice.
My
Because
dad,
of that.
dude, I messed him
My
up.
poor
Yeah.
little brother.
And
Dog,
my dad
funny
loved
story.
it.
When I started back cutting in Fort Myers, because I stopped cutting after I left college. When I
Okay.
got back to Puerto Rico, people were criticizing my cuts. Puerto Rico, they're very, very sharp with the cuts.
Oh,
so if
yeah.
you do some fucked up shit, you
They're
ain't cutting
gonna kill
nobody.
you. Absolutely.
So I stopped because they kind of like fucked my dream up.
Ripped you apart, huh?
Anyways, when I got back to the United States, I started cutting back. I was like, yo, I can cut. Yeah. So I grabbed my old trimmers, old clippers that I had in my fucking saved, and I started cutting my homeboys. Bro, I did this. The trimmer cut them through the whole edge, the whole 9.
Your trimmers are always sharp.
Dog, it cut 2 of my boys. After that, I couldn't find a single person.
See, and I'm different.
Cut dog for a month.
Yeah,
And I'm backwards.
2 people. That might be.
And
that's
I'm
gonna take a
backwards.
hit on your career.
And I'm backwards. My razor game has always, at least that's one thing I can say about myself, I've not cut anyone. Knock on wood. I've not cut anybody yet. And that's just always something. Shout out to Mr. Rod. He was the one that taught me how to use my blade. And I ran with it.
I cut
But-
someone like every day.
No. But my
He's-
kids.
Everything he has, all his trimmers are super sharp.
Yeah, I
he's
can't.
heavy-handed with the blade.
I'm heavy-handed,
but
so I can't.
Nobody else's
I'll give him this. He does the sharpest lines I've ever seen.
Great, but
He
don't
does.
cut people. Okay?
Yeah, I know he doesn't even stop cutting people.
I don't try to.
So with my kids, I started with their friends, and especially my daughter. Alina's friends were everything to me. They all came to me. And then from Alina's friends, it went to Junior's friends. And then Junior's friends and Alina's friends would tell somebody, and they would tell somebody. And before I knew it, I had all these little munchkins calling me mom, and they were all letting me do their hair.
Yeah.
That's
Then
awesome.
from the barbershop, obviously it sprung from there. So my issue was I started in 2014. I think it was like October. My stomach was hurting. I thought it was my stomach at least. And I just kept getting these really weird pains. And I was just like, dude, I'm standing up too long. Something's wrong. I don't feel good. Finally, I decided to go to the doctor. And that was where my first cancer diagnosis came from. I lost my mind. I cried a lot. Because
That's tough.
I've always been the type of person that I've always wanted to get married. And I just wanted to have this family. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And I wanted more kids. Even though I had my daughter and my son, I really wanted more. So when my doctor told me that I had to have a partial hysterectomy at 28, 29 years old, that was the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. So I didn't have to do chemo or radiation. I just had to have surgery, which was a partial hysterectomy, which means I can't have kids anymore.
Yeah.
So that hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went through that. And remember, I told you, I went through it with my mom.
Right.
So when I was done with that surgery, I remember calling my mom and I was like, hey, how are you? And she's like, oh, hi, how are you? I had just woken up. I'm still kind of drugged up from the amnesia. And she's like, she's telling me that she wasn't feeling good. So I told her, I was like, go to the hospital. They're discharging me tomorrow and I'll be right there. So I did exactly that. I show up to the hospital and like my mom's just looking swollen and just every day progressively got worse. I remember she asked me for my son because my mom had a great relationship with my kids, but there was something about
Hell
my
yeah!
son.
Shout out grandmas.
Grandmas,
I love my
grandmas.
grandma.
Everybody loves grandmas.
Abuela Ani, I love you.
My mom's like a new grandma, and you can tell there's like a difference in her
It is
vibe
a
now.
difference.
Oh,
There's a
I love
difference
it.
in her
My mother,
energy
Oh,
now.
bro,
absolutely.
my mother's a grandmother right
Yeah.
now,
Yes.
and it's a huge ass difference.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a
absolutely.
huge difference.
Kind of jealous.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, my daughter, no
kidding,
lie,
I'm
my
kidding.
daughter is too. Because every time I call for Lele, she's like, don't you call for me? And I'm like, how
bro.
are you? Where's Lele? So I went ahead and I brought my mom, my son. It was a Thursday, and I can't forget that. But so I brought my son. My mom got excited. They got to speak. I remember Junior telling my mom, I'll see you when you get back home. Because they loved Family Feud. And I'll see you when we get back home so we could watch Family Feud. And unfortunately, my mom did pass away a week later. She ended up in a coma, you know. Fast forward. I finished my career. I finished my industry. I finished everything. And I'm just more grateful the fact that I, you know, survived all this stuff. I had so many people behind me. And then fast forward 5 years later, 2020, when we're in Corona, I get it again. But this time I get it in my lymph nodes. So that causes me to have to
Cancer
go
twice, my
yes. And the second time was in a worse area because if it spreads, because your lymph nodes is like your hardwiring to your body. It's all over you.
That's crazy.
So I could have spread it all over. And they caught it on time. And I ended up having to do chemo and radiation that time. And for whatever reason, just my thought process, the people that I had by my side, the amount of videos that people were sending to me, especially Mark. I can't even, that's the only person I could think of right now because he sent me so many Dr. Sebi stuff. Like he would constantly talk about Dr. Sebi. And I feel like all that love and all that information and all those videos, I kind of feel like that's what saved me. So I feel like the industry saved me. I feel like those people like showed me so much love. That's what saved me.
I'm a firm believer that the energies and everything really, really help you with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
I would say like sometimes I met some people that damn, how can I say this? It's gonna sound crazy. They're in the process of like passing away.
Mm-hmm.
Or they get some disease that really, really shocks them to the point that they're gonna pass away,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I seen some that with their energies and their vibe
It
and
helps.
their faith has been saved.
Yeah.
And I seen some that with their energies, their vibes,
They pass.
they pass away.
You know, that
Mhm.
brings me to something that we were talking about the other night, me and a couple buddies of mine. And I didn't realize it until we were talking about it. But I had never been in a position in my life before. Like, so growing up in Lehigh, it was kind of rough, right? Like I did lose a couple of homies like way too early type on some crazy like people wilding out stuff. But I had never met so many people that passed on while I knew them until I got into the barbering industry, because now I meet a lot of people that are older in age. Like I have a lot of older clients, and eventually, you know, people stop coming back. You know what I mean? Eventually you see somebody for the last time. And you start questioning because you've been cutting them for a year, you've been cutting them for 2 years. You're like, I know they didn't switch barbers, or I know they didn't move because this is where they were retired at.
Mm-hmm.
So then you kind of come to the conclusion as to what may have happened, and then so you do a Google search or you look in the newspaper or on the news or something like that. And it's crazy, like you don't realize the connection that you get over seeing somebody. Because let's say I've been cutting their hair for a year, right? I've only seen them 12 times. They come once a month for a year. I've seen you 12 times, and we've had a conversation for 30 minutes 12 times.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually build some sort of a connection there.
Shout out to those who come 24.
Mm-hmm.
shout out to everybody that comes twice a month. You're keeping my bills paid. Thank you. But
Not only the bills,
the-
the relationship
but
is lit.
for the older folk, right, that come once a month, that's typically, you get somebody that's been around for a while. They get their
Sad.
hair done once a month.
100%
They're on a
sad.
schedule. You know what I mean?
Well, in the beginning of my industry, or in the beginning of my career, I have my two angels that I lost. I have my old couple, and then I have Mr. Leo. I have a picture of Mr. Leo, and I have a picture of my Horowitz. That was their last name, Dorothy and Ben Berkowitz. I'm sorry, not Horowitz.
Dorothy, dog.
Well, Miss Dorothy, when I was doing her hair, the very last time I did her hair, I was on the very last curl at the top of her head. I was at the nursing home because I would go to them, and I'm blow drying her hair back, and I just remember her head going back, and I put it forward again, and I'm like, Miss Dorothy, I'm almost done. Love, keep your head up, and it goes back again. So I look at her, and her eyes are rolling in the back of her head, and her tongue is like, and I just remember screaming. And the nurse from the nursing home comes in, picks her up off the chair, throws her on the bed, starts doing one of these, and I'm just like freaked out. From what I was told by her husband, she did survive that. I don't think either one of them are alive now because this is 10 years ago.
right.
You know what I mean? But that was scary for me.
Oh yeah.
Then
That'd be scary
Mr.
for anybody.
Then Mr. Leo passes away like
Yeah.
2 weeks
Bro,
to a
it's
month
funny
later.
Yeah.
Look, damn, this is so out of the podcast to be real, but I'm gonna throw it anyways. So
It's okay, we're editing this.
when you have a lifetime with someone and they pass away, the mental process of it could take you away with them too. I seen it a couple times with couples that one goes in first.
And
Yes.
the other one
yes,
goes.
and then the other
One-
from heartbreak.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it come like we can't say heartbreak because we ain't no doctors or no doctor
But
can
normally
diagnose
that's
that.
what it is.
That's what we think
Yeah,
it is,
that's
you
what
know.
we
But
think it
mentally,
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%
I mean,
we
that's
think
what
you know
it is.
is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can't say it is. You
Well,
know?
I mean, we can't say for sure. There's
You know,
no
but
fucking
either
scientific
way,
proof.
it really, really, really messes up with the head to the point that they go away too.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's
So
crazy.
on that subject, obviously I didn't go anywhere, thank God, because I am here. But I do have one client that I talk about him all the time. I think about him all the time, and he is very, very dear to me. His name was Jim. Shout out Jim. Rest in peace. Jimmy had been with me for 4 years, and Jimmy had never ever missed an appointment. He was never late. Like, He was everything.
The ideal client.
Yo, he was amazing. Like he was just great. And what ended up happening? Can you put my phone on the charger? Because mine's about to die. Can you hit that button too? Because it's like. Thank you very much. And I guess you could just put it on the side. I don't know. Perfect. I don't even know if anyone's on there. Shout out to anyone who is on my
I don't know if
live.
there's anybody online.
I don't ever do a live, so people are probably like, yes. So I went ahead and Jimmy had an appointment one day, and his appointment was for 12:30. And I remember waiting for him. And me and him had the type of relationship that I could talk to him the way I talk to y'all. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, where the fuck you at? So I text him. He's 15 minutes late. This is not normal for him. So I went ahead and I text him. No answer. I call him. No answer.
Oh, that's the heart. Oh, don't start.
Bro, I don't hear from him. I continue on my day. My next client after him, which is an hour and a half, he comes in. So I'm like, all right. Jim was already on dialysis. He already had health issues. And this is after Corona. This is when the whole Corona vaccine. This is that whole Corona vaccine thing. And I remember 4:00. I go to the back room. I have one more client coming. I have like 30 minutes. So I go to the back. I'm never on Facebook. I have a Facebook.
Right.
But I'm barely on it.
Me too. I barely get on Facebook. I get on Facebook to talk to my
Facebook,
grandma.
You see what I'm saying? That's where we're at.
Legit.
So I get on Facebook and I'm scrolling through and Jim's page pops up. Rest in peace.
Oh,
damn.
And I'm like, what? So I click on his page and I'm going through his page. Rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in peace. Finally, I get to the very last one. Jim died 19 days before his appointment.
wow.
And the craziest part was he called me for the 4th of July to say happy 4th because he always called me and he always texted me. And I don't remember why I didn't get back to him. I think I was out with family or whatever. And he passed. And the last conversation me and him had was actually that. It was him telling me, Yari, I want to let you know that if anything ever happens to me, I love you.
Oh.
And I looked at him and I was like,
That's
why
all
are
we can
you?
do, dog.
I
That's
said,
all
why
we
you?
can do.
I said, why you talking like that? You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, right.
They feel it. They feel it. My grandfather.
That's the scary part. And I told
They
him
feel
straight
it.
up. I was like, don't talk like that. I don't want to hear that. I was like, you and I, we're going to get old and I'm going to get you and I'm going to do your hair.
Yeah.
And when you pass when you're older, I'm going to take care of your hair and your beard. I'm going to make sure you go looking great.
Great, yeah.
Because he's the only person I ever used enhancements on. And that's because he wanted it.
Yeah.
I would enhance his
They like
beard.
it.
I would enhance
They
his
like
hair. That's what he wanted. And he would always, Yachty, can you take a picture? Always.
That's
I need a new profile picture.
Always.
That's funny.
Take that
And-
click. Take that click.
But I loved him because to me, he was my real life 40-year-old virgin.
Right.
Jim was older than me, pero you couldn't tell because he was very, I don't want to use the word monguito, but he was very, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was hard for me. I made the whole barbershop cry. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what? It's funny though, because sometimes I'll look up those clients that the older ones that don't come back, and I'll be like, man, I really hope like my heart will start beating, and I'll type in their name into Google, and then I'll see their Facebook, and they had posted like an hour ago. They're fine. They just went to a new barber. I'll be like, damn it, you know, that's the opposite.
But now-
that's okay.
But now I have that.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's like my heart gets
Yes.
beating. You know what
now
I mean? Like
have
now
that
I've got
trauma.
right.
Now I have that trauma. If a client that I know for a fact is on time and they're late, I'm like, where are you? Answer me now, please. Just tell me you're okay. Like it hurts me, but I miss him. He was an amazing client, and now I have Othniel. Othniel is he was a client that I met afterwards, and I told him about Jim actually because he was coming to me at the same time as Jim. I think they ran into each other one time, and I told him about it, and I was crying when I told him. I'm at the point obviously where I'm a little bit more healed now, and I can talk about it without crying, but there was a point in time I couldn't even see a picture of Jim without bawling.
Right.
I
yeah.
went through that in barber school. It's tough.
Yeah.
Barber school.
Definitely
I have
is.
a little old lady and a man that used to get cut with me and get perm. Mind you, nobody likes to do perms at all.
I don't do perms.
I don't do perms because
And
I hate
I
it.
don't do
I would
perms.
only do it for her.
I literally don't do perms because I can't stand the smell. I can't do the smell.
I'm okay with perms. I do them all the time.
It's just
I do them.
it's tedious. It smells bad.
It's a long process.
It's a long process.
Hey, but I'll tell you something. You would never assist that smile out of an old person. Or
After they get their
woman,
perm?
after
Yeah.
they get
Oh,
their
I bet.
perm.
Yeah, I bet.
It's very satisfying.
I bet, especially
I'm
for
good
the
with
older.
the egg
yeah.
smell.
All right, boys. I think
We've done enough.
this is our first episode of Mutual Agreements.
Hey.
This is Ricky Rich in the building with she fades and braids and hawk blends in the house.
We
Thank
had
you.
a lot of
I wanna take
conversations.
this little time to invite y'all to my event February 18, 2024.
2 days before my birthday.
Is going to be here at the Blueprint Recordings Checkmate's Barbershop in the parking lot. We got
And please make
80
sure you follow
parking
Checkmate's Barbershop.
spots.
This place is fire.
Unbelievable.
It is
this place.
beautiful.
This place is unbelievable.
Shout out to the original
To the
for
man
this
right here.
amazing
Shout out my
place.
having us.
Devon.
Thank you so much for the
Yes.
hospitality.
Thank you so
Always
much.
Sean
turning
for
up.
the Blueprint
My man.
Recordings. And I really, really want to invite y'all. This is going to be an amazing event. We have my girl right here and her team
The
showcasing.
braiding baddies
in
will be
the
there.
My
Baddies.
event, February 18th, come through. It's an eight battles, 12 barbers per battle. We have exotic vehicles. We have food and drinks.
We have artwork.
We have tattoo artists. We have artwork. We have a huge stage with brands. So you guys better come.
Can you
listen,
feel
y'all.
his excitement?
It's the Mutual Agreements podcast, man. We got the Risk It All Barber Battle February 18th right here in Fort Lauderdale. Checkmate Barbershop, Blueprint Recording Studios. It's Hawk Blends, Ricky Rich Braids, She Fades and Braids. We are out of here. Thank you so much for listening.
Risk it all, baby.
Tune
All
in
in
again
or
for
nothing,
episode
y'all.
2.
People,
All in
risk
or
it all.
nothing.
We'll be back next time with a new bottle of Hennessy because that one's toast.
It is. It's gone.
See y'all on the flip side,
Bye,
episode 2.
guys.